What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land. And just the other day, we finally got confirmation from Nintendo the exact time and date that the E3 conference is going to happen for them this year, which is June 15th, Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only thing we know is this year it will not be 3 days throughout the week. It'll only be 1 day with a 3-hour treehouse after the 45-minute show. And it's going to focus mainly on games this year, which means there'll probably still be a couple of games announced that's going to happen next year. But with that said, today we have put together a list of the super most accurate, specific predictions possible. We are going to try to be as accurate and kind of pinpoint exactly what we want to see and exactly what we think we're going to see here. And it's going to be pretty exciting. So make sure that you like this video if you enjoyed and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all things Nintendo. And please turn on your post notifications so you'll know when I post, especially as we enter E3 week. It's going to get hectic. There's going to be a lot of things being announced. Make sure you're ready. But with that, what we're going to do is pretty much go series by series and break it down that way. So starting off with like the Mario series, then Zelda, then Metroid, and going all the way down the line. Then at the very end, we'll put together a comprehensive list and maybe even like a little order as to when these events are going to happen during the Direct. I told you we're getting as specific as possible. I will not be getting super specific on some series that I'm not super familiar with, like Fire Emblem and Xenoblade, but they will be mentioned briefly. Are you guys ready? Let's jump into the list, starting off with the Super Mario series.
It's me, Mario!
Unlike last year, I don't think Nintendo does much for the Red Plumber this year. I think it's kind of time for him to sit back and relax, as last year was a big year for Mario for his anniversary, where this year, we only got Mario 3 World plus Bowser's Fury, and I think that's all we're going to get. Now, there could be some brief things that we get touched on, like Mario Golf coming in June. They could briefly touch on this and maybe even not even show it at all during the actual show, save it for the Treehouse, but I do think there's going to be a brief touch or something Mario Golf related, whether it's Treehouse or the actual show itself. That's really about it. Now, there might be some smaller things like Mario Party or something else, which we'll get into later on because there's a separate segment for smaller games. But as far as Mario himself, the only thing that I might want to predict is Mario and Luigi. There is a slight chance that Mario and Luigi could get a new game. I know that Alpha Dream actually went bankrupt, but there could be something else happening behind the scenes, maybe with a new developer, maybe Nintendo bought them and hired them up. I don't know. Who knows at this point? But I think there is a good chance that Mario and Luigi could see something finally on a mainline console, but at the end of the day, I'm saying no Mario and Luigi, no Mario at all. I'm thinking Mario is kind of a shutdown for the most part at this E3 showcase. The first thing I want to talk about with Zelda is the fact that the anniversary is still a thing this year, and it's going to make it hard to kind of predict what Zelda game is going to be announced when. Well, I think the anniversary actually isn't going to be a thing until later this year that they're going to have a separate direct or presentation for that's outside of E3. So no 3-pack information here for Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Ocarina of Time, and definitely no Age of Calamity DLC information, I think, right now. Even though that there is DLC coming out this month, I think Nintendo might have their own little trailer put out later, in the month or something like that. I don't think it's an E3 announcement. Now, of course, Breath of the Wild 2. I am 100% confident it will be here. It will have a short trailer showing off the world in combat, and the world will be the same, but drastically changed. It'll be kind of the same world that we've already known and loved, but different things will be popped up, and different things will alter the world that we already know. There will be lots of underground exploration, and there are more callbacks to past games with this new map. I'm feeling like there will be some time gates similar to the original Hyrule Warriors, bringing back past areas from past games. New items will be available to be used in combat, and new mechanics such as underwater traversal and being able to fly around the map, and you can play as Link and Zelda. They'll both be playable and work alongside each other in order to complete puzzles and dungeons. The game releases this holiday with the awaited Switch Pro, and it will probably be the last announcement of the Direct. Yes, I'm not going to dive deep into this Switch Pro thing. I know it's coming. Lots of people are saying it's going to be revealed before E3, so I'm just going to say this. The Switch Pro, I'm not touching. It's going to happen within the next couple of weeks. Whatever. But yes, I think this is going to be one of the first games for the Switch Pro and the big holiday game of the year, and the last presentation to end the Direct. As far as Skyward Sword, might barely be touched the same level as Mario Golf in order to remind people that it's coming next month. So yeah, it might barely be touched, but besides that, nothing else. Now, I put Kirby and Donkey Kong within the same category because they're both been so heavily rumored and leaked to happen. And it's just such an exciting thing because we need a new Kirby, we need a new Donkey Kong, but which one's going to happen? Because I only think one of these are going to be happening, or at least one of these is going to be happening this year. If Kirby happens, I'm not saying until next year because it's his anniversary next year, the 30th anniversary for Kirby in 2022. But this year is Donkey Kong, so I'm saying Donkey Kong happens this year. And is it going to be 2D or 3D? Well, for a 2D Donkey Kong, I'm actually expecting a 2D Donkey Kong over 3D. I will talk about what a 3D will look like. I'm thinking 2D because we already have a lot of 3D stuff coming. If we have a 3D Kirby, a big open world Zelda, a potential Mario game coming in the future, there's just too much 3D. We need some 2D gameplay. And I think Donkey Kong might take over that. I know there's rumors it's made by the Odyssey team and that it might have 3D environments, but I think that might just be a background thing. But anyways, into the 2D game itself, I don't think it'll be like past country games. I think it'll be a completely different experience, more on exploration and puzzles than just completing a level. I think K. Rool will be the main enemy again with his army and the Kremlings, and the game comes out this fall, such as September or October. And by exploration, I mean simply, let's say you have more characters such as Chunky Kong. He's able to break certain blocks, and then, you know, in order to get into certain areas that you couldn't get into before, or Tiny Kong's able to get really small, just like Donkey Kong 64, but this is all in 2D now. So similar to something like Shantae, where Shantae needed to turn into different animals in order to get into different areas and revisit certain spots with those different abilities now. That's what I'm kind of expecting. Now, as far as a 3D Donkey Kong goes, I think it's not likely compared to the 2D. I'm still going 2D, but if this does happen, I think it would be based on DK Isle still. I still think K. Rool will be the enemy, and when I say based on DK Isle, I'm talking about like the Returns and Tropical Freeze games where we've seen, you know, the base Donkey Kong Island and what the locations look like on there. So the same beaches, the mines, and even the canyons with the fossils, those are going to remain, but now with 3D environments. So like the factory location, but just 3D now, not in the 2D aspects that we already seen them in. And the characters will be the characters that we know and love, but this time, unlike Donkey Kong 64, you won't have to step on certain switches to activate powers. If you want to use Diddy's Rocket Barrel and fly around the map whenever you want, you can do that. If you want to use Dixie's Hover and fly around like a helicopter, or maybe even Cranky's Cane in order to do certain tricks and bouncing on spikes or something, you can do that whenever you want. Each character will have a special moveset to help you to get to where you need. Now, as far as Kirby goes, if this does happen, once again, this will be a 2022 title, but this is 100% going to be a 3D Kirby game announced for 2022 if it does get announced here. It will be fully 3D and probably more explorative than a Donkey Kong game in 3D would be. This is going to be a lot bigger of a game than people think and will release in 2022 for Kirby's 30th anniversary. We could see something here about it, like I said, but if we do, it will be one of the few 2022 games that we know about, such as Splatoon 3, and we'll probably get maybe like one or two more to know and kind of flesh out what next year is going to be about. Copy abilities return and now have more potential and more depth as you're in a full 3D environment with these copy abilities, making puzzles and exploration a lot more fun, so we probably won't have too many new copy abilities. If we do, it'll only be a couple, but for the most part, with these old ones getting fleshed out completely in 3D, it's going to be a lot of fun to see these things, and I could see Nintendo adding more copy abilities from the series to the game after the game already releases. But it will once again be a full open 3D environment that Kirby can explore, not necessarily open world, but open environments for sure. And of course, Kirby will have a new antagonist, some type of crazy, weird new guy that the guys had to take down. And yes, by the guys, I mean Meta Knight, Waddle Dee or Bandana D, and King Dedede will all be playable if you want to play with a friend. I can definitely see this being a spring/early summer game for 2022, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up, it is Metroid's anniversary this year as well. So are we going to see something Metroid related? Absolutely. But I think here's what we're going to see. There's still going to be no word on the Prime Trilogy or Metroid Prime 4 yet. I think we're getting very close to Prime Trilogy, not to Metroid Prime 4. And I don't even think we're close enough to get even a sneak peek or anything of Metroid Prime 4 at all right here. The main focus here is this new 2D game that will be coming in August or September. This game will have beautiful background environments and look absolutely stunning. The combat will be similar to Samus Returns and have lots of cinematic fight sequences that looks really cool, especially on the Nintendo Switch hardware over the 3DS this time. Ridley once again will be shown in the trailer or at least teased in some type of way, but this game will be a new game in the franchise and move the series forward forward for once instead of being a remake or some type of spin-off. This is the next step in the series before we actually, jump into Metroid Prime 4, continuing the series onward. So it's going to be a very exciting game. I do think it's going to have kind of 2.5D aspects like some of the leaks have said it would, but this will definitely be coming this fall. And like I said before, I'm really expecting this to be the August/September game. Now, also, I don't know if this is going to be announced for Nintendo's E3 or at somebody else's E3, or if Epic Games actually shows this off themselves with the new season coming right around the corner. But yes, they have a new season of Fortnite coming right around the corner next week, actually, and it's space-themed, and leaks have came out about Samus being a skin in Fortnite. So if you are a Fortnite fan and really want to get your hands on a Samus skin, get ready, because I feel like something regarding the crossover with Nintendo and Fortnite is finally officially about to happen outside of like a special edition of the Switch.
I can feel the power!
Now, here's the part where I'm completely clueless and have no information on Fire Emblem or Xenoblade that much. I've never really played any of these games, but there has been a lot of rumors of a remake for some old Fire Emblem game. I don't know anything else about this, so I'm saying that'll probably come July or August if it is a remake. That's really all I know about it. But Xenoblade, there is rumors apparently, or I guess a confirmation, that Monolith Soft is making a new IP and that we might actually see something about it this year for a release next year. Who knows? But we could see something from the Monolith Soft team coming, whether it's a new IP, something with the Xenoblade series, saga, something, I don't know. But like I said, I don't know a lot about this stuff. Do with it what you will. I don't even know how to predict this because I don't know much about what's going on. But I would say for sure something Fire Emblem related is going to happen, whether it's a remake, something small, something bigger announced for next year. Something Fire Emblem will be here for sure. Alright, so I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this one, and it's funny because I feel like we do this every E3. We speculate a Smash character, and pretty soon it's going to be over. There's not going to be any more Smash speculation, but you guys have been waiting for this part. Okay, so one huge character is going to be announced here, I think. One gigantic third-party character that is going to get people absolutely going wild, and yes, I think it's going to be a Western character this time around, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I just think based on the characters that we've gotten so far in this past, I think it's time for a character that like lots of people know well over here. So here's what I'm thinking, okay? It's going to be a huge third-party character, and I'm thinking between the characters of Crash Bandicoot, Rayman, Master Chief, or Doom Guy, I think has a really good chance. And if I had to pull one from there, I personally would love to see Crash, but I'm going something along the lines of Master Chief or Doom Guy. Which one? I don't know. Does Microsoft get another rep, their third rep in this game? I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. But if there is an outlier character that I didn't mention within that list, I think the possibility is a Sonic character being the form of Dr. Eggman, giving us another villain hero trope trailer. Now, lots of you guys have, asked me what are my, most wanted characters, and I really could care less anymore. I would love Paper Mario, Crash, or Shantae, but anybody else I'm fine with. Even Dr. Eggman, I think I'd be very happy with. And any of these characters I just mentioned, Rayman, Master Chief, Doom Guy, I think I'd be pretty happy with. Rayman probably the least, because I just haven't played Rayman in years. But besides that, yeah, I think any other character I'd be pretty content with. But the character will have a Sakurai Presents show at the end of July. Not after the Direct, not during the Direct. I'll say either the end of July or the following week, keeping the hype. The last character will be announced in a special presentation later this year, with Sakurai finishing off the past for good. There might be a bonus character. Lots of people have been speculating a bonus character or not. Who knows? But I think this is how it's going to roll out. So that's going to be very exciting. We're going to get a new Smash character in June. I'm 100% confident in that. And I think it's going to be a pretty big one.
Excellent!
Now, I think the potential for a small title is very possible here. We're going to get probably a lot of sprinkles of small things, and I think a WarioWare game is very possible. There's been that recent, poll that Nintendo has sent out to lots of fans, and one of the questions was, would you buy a new WarioWare game at $50? So that's definitely amongst the possibilities here. That could also be, put in with a Rhythm Heaven game or another Mario Party game. Those are all small possible projects, and I would say Star Fox, because Star Fox really isn't a big game right now. It is a smaller title. Probably not amongst the small titles that's on this list, but if I had to predict something, I would say there would be a new WarioWare game for sure, or Mario Party. It's between the two. I'm going WarioWare full in. I hope it's WarioWare. We need a new WarioWare game. I'm saying we're getting a new WarioWare game. It'll be called like WarioWare Switched or something, and it will have a big gimmick on using the Joy-Con and moving around and stuff like that. Kind of like what Smooth Moves was, which I hope is what it's like. You know, lots of mini games, just straight micro games. That would be a lot of fun. Make them all new games, you know, bring in the old characters and stuff. Put it in HD for the Switch, obviously, and it'll be a lot of fun. WarioWare is a fun game to play with people. It's just stupid and fun, and it's that type of fun that you can have with anybody you play with. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, is Splatoon 3 going to be shown here? I'm saying no. The fact that it's already been shown and announced to come out in 2022 is enough already. Unless it's like very early 2022 and they're like almost done with direction, then I don't think so. But either way, yeah, I don't think Splatoon 3 gets shown off here. The point of E3 is to maybe show off the game for the first time coming in the next year, and they've already done that with Splatoon 3 in the last Direct, so there's no need for them to touch on the game right now. They can have their own separate Direct for that or show it in the next general Direct later on. But if there is anything shown in Splatoon 3 here, I think the only way is if there is a huge brand new game mode, like a Battle Royale or something that can be played free before the actual release date of Splatoon 3 that coincides with the game. And then when the game actually comes out, you have the option to buy the actual game in order to get cool perks for that Battle Royale mode. I've seen that happen with other game companies before, like Call of Duty and even Fortnite with the paid version of Save the World. So there's multiple different ways that they could go about this. And if there is a big, huge, crazy new game mode or maybe some crazy part of the story, that's the only thing that they're going to show. I don't think we get much of the actual gameplay of the, you know, multiplayer itself or an in-depth look at anything, because Splatoon is one of those games that you kind of need a sit-down look at how everything works, and a general or a, you know, game-specific direct for that game is the best way that they can do so. Last but not least, we have to talk about some big surprises that could happen. So I have a couple here, and here's the deal. We have Splatoon 2 announced for 2022, and that's really about it. So with assuming there'll probably be another game announced in here, maybe that new Kirby game, that leaves about one more or two more games, or one big, huge announcement that could be for 2022. And what could that be? Well, Breath of the Wild 2 is already a big game, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun to see that, but it's not really the big blowout announcement. We know it's coming. What could be the big surprise game that comes in here? Well, one of them could be Mario Kart 9 for next year. This could be just a small tease showing that the, you know, title is a thing. You know, even a logo, I think at this point would be pretty cool to just see that this thing is coming. Metroid Prime 4, any sort of information, trailer at all, I think could be considered as a big shock. Pikmin 4 announcement at all could be a big shock. Just literally the title to confirm that Pikmin is still coming, and yes, there is a Pikmin 4 indeed. After all these years, this would be a huge sigh of relief for fans. And then the only other thing I could possibly think of is a look at the next big Mario game. I don't know if they show off like a clip of Mario Odyssey 2 or something coming next year, but I think that's the only other thing that would be a huge, crazy surprise. Anything else is pretty much fair game at this point. So this is pretty much my confirmed list of what I think is going to happen. Breath of the Wild 2 is probably going to end the Direct and be a 2021 holiday release along with the Switch Pro, a new 2D Donkey Kong game for 2021, a new 3D Kirby game announced for 2022, a 2D Metroid this fall, Fire Emblem Remake or a new Monolith Soft 2022 announcement game, a new Smash Fighter to be announced and revealed and to be released probably sometime late June, a smaller title to be released, and a potential for a big surprise game. But with that, let me know, guys, what you think about this list of games supposedly, well, to me, going to happen at E3 this year. Do you agree with me? Do you want to see something else? Do you have a different opinion on something? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will chat with some of you guys about what we want to see from E3 this year. This is an exciting time. Let's just be hype and be excited. I know lots of people say don't get your hopes up, but be excited. Get your hopes up. This is E3. It's been gone since last year, so please, let this be fun. Let this be a fun time for everybody, and let's get hyped together. If you guys enjoyed this video today, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It helps a lot, please. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And like always, I will see you on the next one. See you guys.